You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? The blade. The door to the basement creaks open, reveal her voice.
Hello?
Don't. How many times do I have to tell?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. I am begging you to stay.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. Wait, I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
Okay. Is that why they threw me down here? I don't remember much about it, to be honest.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She knows what she'd do. She's just...
What I do doesn't really matter, right? At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that, and I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about. Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to? We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here. And it's whoever sent you here. And
Don't let her turn the table.
Of course I'm locked up down. I don't act...
You have all the explanation.
I don't see what that has...
This is the only... Okay, but... That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here.
Leaving her alive is too... So I'm the only one who liked that.
One way or another? But if you don't, I can...
You have to make it. You can't be serious.
Thank you. Thank you. You won't regret this, I promise.
You're making a huge mistake.
No. I think you're doing the right thing.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked...
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant.
You attempt to make your...
Is someone else here?
You make your way to the bottom of the... Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at...
I heard the door slam.
There's a slight panic.
If I could just get out of these chains,
She bets as she rips her flesh from her bone. It's the blade.
Or we could use it to free her.
You won't like what happens if you do that. Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit.
She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
No, she didn't.
She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just... As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Watch me.
What are you doing?
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart.
But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect.
Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew.
It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake.
For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it. Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead. The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to... You take the blade from the table.
I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally...
Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge, and hopefully it doesn't get turned on us. Again, there's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to do your job. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already.
Oh my god.
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
That's right, villain, and you killed us.
Well, she killed us.
Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world, but everything reset. Nothing resets, you're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever, especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually.
That's because she's perfect.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
Thankfully.
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we?
We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone.
She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
That's a very funny answer.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself.
Not so sure.
You died, and now we're talking. I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her. No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll...
You're what?
take over our body and force us to try and kill her? Yes. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
Oh my gosh.
You wouldn't. I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true
Split her hand through the
believer.
chains.
I'm free, and you're not trying to
Oh
kill
my
me this
gosh,
time.
that looks so...
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved. Is that a threat? You know what we'll do if you try it. You're going to regret this.
What do we do now?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
Oof.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before. I mean, you sort of did last time, but this is different.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Are you seriously asking her that?
Oh, we've been over this one. No, I do not want to end the world.
I just want to make you happy.
Wait a second, did she change?
I just want to make you happy.
Okay, yeah, she's definitely changing. So... You know what? I'll just do that, because why not?
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
I could say...
I just want to make you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
Oh. Okay.
No. She was our perfect match.
Smitten. I don't know why, but he just makes me laugh.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now? But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right? Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
The bloat you've grown.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same. I'm sorry. Words are difficult for me. They never fully weave what I wish to say. If you do not like my answers, then you need not ask me questions. The vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything words could say in the spaces between. Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward. Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me. With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed, but in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you. Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets. This one is a reflecting pool of desire unfulfilled. She will make for a pliant heart. Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose. My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory. The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
So far, I like these parts the best, just asking for her opinion. I mean, that's a good quote right there. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence. I like that.
If I am to be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you. I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
You're on a path. You make your way up the short. You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement creaks over her voice.
Who's there?
She said, "Don't let it fool."
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so... Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me. How about you drop the knife, and the two of us just... talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we... You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Fine then, I guess we're on an impasse.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here. The blade tumbles out of your...
Thank you. Maybe now we can just... talk.
Against your better judgment, we'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can...
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Do you? You're lying.
How does she know that?
Don't think that just because I'm the one in chains, it means you have a right to interrogate me. Oh? Have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
I think I'm gonna do it.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through.
A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw.
Ooh.
It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured.
Oh.
Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal
Okay, that's
footing.
bad.
Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
No.
We can still turn this around.
We're just gonna, freaking fist fight. Or flee and lock her in the face. I can't. So that is an option, I just can't do it.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
Oh, okay.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Ooh, the adversary.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning. That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight. Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The Crystal. Let's just get on with it already. The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
The reason I've not mentioned the mirror is because, I mean, it's disappeared every single time I've tried it. Like for example, I'll enter the basement, or I'll go with
Blade
it.
this time. Right then, fisticuffs it is.
Fisticuffs.
Probably more fair to her anyway. Wouldn't want to feel like we cheated our way to a win.
As long as you can still get the job done. And don't forget that the blade is waiting for you upstairs if you happen to change your mind. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulphuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall.
Okay,
Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I've been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. But no little knife this time, huh?
Yeah, kind of regretting that now.
I hope you're not just here to chat. I've been itching for a rematch.
You look different. And just your chin. I actually am here for... Oh, you know what? Okay. Oh, what? I'm gonna save again. Even though I did not on this one, I'll save again. And I actually do... Probably am gonna do a couple of these. But, you know what? I'll do that.
Aside from your empty hands, you look exactly the same.
Alright, fine. I believe you. What? What you said earlier in the woods, I believe you. You've already met the princess, and the princess has already met you. That's all the more reason to take this seriously. You don't know that whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember.
Probably for the best.
Are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die. I know. You and the princess have been talking about it.
Yeah, that's why I
You
don't
don't have
know
to
why.
be so snarky.
I don't know what happened to you since the last time, but I'm not fighting a giant demon. Bye. Okay. That's funny. These answers seem really meta, and I love it.
Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again? Or are you scared I'm going to put you down for good this time?
I think my position on violence in this situation is already more than clear, but you really shouldn't let yourself be goaded so easily. There's more at risk in this encounter than your fragile ego.
I agree. If we're gonna fight her, we need a weapon.
Why not?
Free her? You aren't... I don't know why I'm even bothering, to
be honest. You know the stakes of the situation.
Who says I want to be free?
Are you sure we want to look a gift horse in the mouth right now? If she doesn't want to leave, doesn't this whole situation just work out for everyone?
There's nothing out there for me. The only thing I care about is right here. All I want is to keep knowing what it feels like to kill you and be killed by you.
Okay.
I want to feel that knife split me open. I want to feel your bones snap beneath my fists.
No.
I think I'll just let the princess speak for herself here. Leaving her in the basement isn't an answer. You have to make a choice.
And there's only one choice worth making. Fight her. Win.
Actually, I am here to chat.
Haven't we talked enough? Do you really have anything else to say? Or are you just stalling because you're scared I'm going to kill you again?
Why not?
Then why are you just standing there? Fight me.
I guess we'll have to see how this goes.
This is gonna be interesting.
Your hands empty, you charge the princess.
Oh boy.
Quit the pessimism, will you?
Stubborn, you better take hold.
Right? It's almost like you don't want us to beat her. No, look, I'm rooting for you, I really am. I'm just doing my best to keep my expectations grounded. You don't have a weapon. You're supposed to have a weapon.
We'll be fine. Just watch.
You attack, fists raised, and the two of you fall into combat. Your clawed fingers tear into her flesh, and her fists and elbows return the blows in kind, bruises blossoming in her wake, and blood vessels rupturing in vivid sprays of gore.
Not bad. You're tougher than I thought you'd be.
Hear that? She respects us. We can pull this off.
Yeah. You're right.
But without that knife, you'll never be enough.
Uh-oh.
Her knee connects with your sternum with a loud, violent crack. The wind leaves your lungs, and as you struggle for breath, you can feel something flooding in to fill the space. Hot blood, suffocating you from the inside.
You have to want to kill me. Like this.
You don't so much as see her movement before she deals the killing blow. Everything goes dark, and you die. Are you serious?
That's it.
That's it.
Like hell it is. We're not giving up that easy. Now get up.
Didn't you hear me? You're dead. There's no getting up from that.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Wait, no, that's not right. You're
not dead anymore.
Yes. Your eyes bolt open and you push yourself back to your feet. You're alive. The princess takes a step back and looks down at her pulp-covered fists.
This is gonna be interesting.
I could have sworn I killed you. That's your face splattered on the walls and dripping from my hands.
Touch your face. I get my pristine by now. Run. Hold up.
You don't. I don't even know how you're talking to me.
You raise your hands and touch the front of your head. She's not wrong.
What? What did she do? What are we missing?
Who cares if we're missing our face? We can fight just fine without it.
Oh. Ah, dang it. Alright.
The two of you clash once more. It's not as one-sided as I feared, but it's still a far cry from what I'd hoped. Her injuries, though numerous, pale in comparison to yours, and the wounds you've inflicted upon her barely seem to have slowed her down. As much as you're trying to ignore it, adrenaline pushing you far past your limits, Every movement burns.
This is getting boring. Are you even trying to keep up with me?
She lands another devastating... no. Lethal blow. Everything goes dark.
Please tell me we can get back up again.
And you die. Again.
You know what I'm going to say.
This is gonna be fun.
That we're not dead.
Yeah, that we're not dead. Come on, get up. If we can just keep going, we're bound to wear her down eventually.
Yeah, that's okay.
Are you sure she can't do what we're doing right now?
There's only one way to find out.
You know, I'm really liking stubborn. Get up.
Once more, you push yourself back to your mangled feet.
There's gonna be nothing of us left at the end of this.
How are you still moving? How are you still doing anything? Bodies aren't supposed to look like that.
An uncharacteristic terror seems to grip her voice. Have we ever seen her afraid before?
No, we haven't. This is how we win. We can do this forever.
I'm going to put you out of your misery. I don't like looking at you like this. You're all twitching and wrong.
Good thing this isn't in third person.
I'd like to see her try.
I
We're
just thought,
invincible.
if we ever look in that mirror again in this life, we're gonna
Her
look
fist
messed
flies
up.
towards where your face used to be, your twisted body incapable of moving out of the way. And then you see nothing. Everything goes dark and we die? Yes, something like that. Well, don't you have something to say? Yeah, I quit.
Okay, that's funny.
You're on a path
Ooh.
in the woods, and at the end of that path...
Ooh.
Alright, change of plans. We're taking the blade this time.
Now, why would we ever do that?
Oh, here's Contrarian.
Because she absolutely destroyed us?
Look at this. Oh, I am not liking this.
She sure did, but what a great way to go. We lost our face. Yes, it was hilarious. It was horrifying. Does it matter? We lost. Oh, why so glum, Rage Boy? I thought you were brave. I thought you were proud. Was all that bravado just hot air?
Look, it was just... the fight was better the first time, and the first time we had a weapon.
Well, this is just great. Let me cut to the chase.
Clearly you've already been here.
Yeah, you think? What does here even mean, though? You've told us about the path of the princess and all of that already, but this is a very different
This
path from the
looks
last
like
one.
something from Aliens. Or like the flesh that hates.
That's a good point. Everything here is a little off.
Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs.
So you'd better take things seriously. $100? Where are you getting that number? We're talking 4, maybe 5 directions tops. At least for now. I'm sure I can come up with more if you give me enough time. I don't think you have much to worry about. You're still the one in charge here, and I don't think that's ever going to change. Good, we're all on the same
Oh,
page.
I hate the squelching sound.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her.
That's it? No final words of advice?
I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
Thank you.
Don't be so hard on yourself. We all wind up in creative ruts now and then. I'm sure if you put your mind to it, you could think of something worth telling us.
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight.
You know, I just thought, what is she gonna look like now? That's
But
concerning.
that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone
Also,
walls,
the door
and it
is the
congeals
mirror.
into chaotic
So that's
streaks of
interesting.
writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat. That's horrible. I think it's kind of nice. Makes the room feel alive, doesn't it?
Shut up.
The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal. A pristine
Wonder if we
blade
can not take
perched
the
on
blade
its
again.
edge.
That'd be funny.
The blade is your implement.
We'll
Yeah.
need it if we want to do things right. I say we leave it to Russ.
Thank you.
Let's not make the same mistake twice. We could have won if we had it last time. Take it. A mirror? There is no mirror. There's the pedestal, the blade sitting on the pedestal, and the door to the basement. Oh, are we playing a game where we lie to people about things? That sounds fun. I respect and admire all of you, and I'm
Oh, wow,
so
thanks.
happy to be here. What? There's clearly a mirror. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror. Or you're seeing things. That seems far more likely. What are you trying to say exactly? It means you're hallucinating. It's in our way. Let's just smash it. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? How strange. It's a bit grimy. Why don't we wipe it clean? Wipe what clean? Are you still on about that mirror? It's not real. I'd know about it if it were real. No, we can't doubt our eyes like that. It has to be real. Does it matter if it's actually real or not? Talking about it gets under his skin. That's all that matters. We should talk about it even more. Let's just smash it and get it over with. I'm ready to get violent. We won't be able to see what's in there if we smash it. Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time. You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor. Its
Does that mean I
ancient
can't take the
hinges
blade?
Why am I not surprised?
You step forward into the
Oh,
darkness.
okay, so I can't take the blade. Ooh, that could be a problem.
The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence. The metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up
no.
the stairs.
I got a bad feeling about this.
So you've returned. Do you intend to weakly claw your fingers across my skin? Or have you finally
About that.
decided to try and kill me properly?
Oh boy.
I think you'll find it won't be so simple. I've changed. The way your flesh felt grinding beneath my fist, it woke something in me.
Uh-oh.
A fight is a song, but there was no music in our conflict. There was no beauty in what we did to each other, and now there's no beauty in me. Come down and see what you've done.
Oh boy.
Well, sounds like we got to her last time. Let's keep pushing, see what else we can make happen.
I don't want to. Oh no.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
Oh no.
The chamber's walls are painted in blood,
my
a
god.
deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto
Honestly,
the charred corpses that make up its floor.
That could have been worse.
This place reeks
Ugh.
of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed
I can hear
and
the
bare
heartbeat.
and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you.
Run.
She wants us to be afraid because she wants us to think she can make us suffer. Don't give her the satisfaction.
Run.
That's right, no fear. She's bigger than the last time, but she's pulling herself apart. She's practically done most of the work for us.
We don't even have a weapon.
It doesn't matter. I refuse to go out any way that isn't kicking and screaming.
This is what I'm taking you know, round 3. You know what? Sure.
You'll try. And that's what I've been so excited for. Let's hurt each other.
Your heart free of fear, you charge towards the princess, your eyes locked on each other, both of you prepared to lay down your very essence in one blow. It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of glory. With a horrifying squelch, you are unwound.
Oh.
No, that's our stuff. She can't just do that.
She just did. Unfortunate, I know, but reality is reality.
Who needs stuff anyway? Look at us. We might be all over the place, but we're fine.
That's the first thing you've said that's made any sense. We may be down again, but we're not out for the count yet.
Still, you fall to pieces. What is the point of all this power if there's no challenge to using it? This is a numb existence.
But the words don't leave your metaphorical mouth. Instead, all that leaves you is a wet and horrible gurgling as tissue vibrates out of place.
Our metaphorical mouth.
Oh, I didn't leave you a mouth, did I? It's better that way. Words get us nowhere.
She's right. We don't need words. We just have to push forward.
Hey, I like words. They're easy and we can have all sorts of fun with.
Well, unfortunately for you, you don't have one. Not anymore. Though the ribbons of your unraveled body struggle to coordinate, you manage to put one foot forward.
I don't like this.
Oh, so there is some challenge left in you. Let's see how long it takes to crush it.
The princess clenches her fist, and as her knuckles tighten, even more of you becomes undone. Your skin is flayed.
I'm gonna start skipping this. Like, I'm gonna just start reading fast. I don't want to hear this.
What are you? You're clearly not your skin.
Why would we ever be just our skin? We lost. Who cares? I don't like not having.
The pain doesn't matter. Just keep walking. She can't stop us if we don't let her.
Explore, guys. Dang, my like icons. I'm not sure we can do this.
Still, you push on, placing one disaster of a foot.
Perhaps muscle is where you dwell.
Okay, I'm gonna.
She smiles, and again her will
But we need that. We can't do anything. Okay, Mr. Anatomy, I hear you. But have you...
Yes, do it. Show her how tough we really are.
Okay. Just don't have any muscle.
You shamble on, a mass of organs suspended in bone, all held together by
honestly,
the
this doesn't work
strands of
like the other
connective
one.
tissue.
I really thought that losing your muscle would be the end of you. This is exciting. We're in uncharted
I really
depths.
hate
I can't
this.
wait to see how much more of you I can take before you finally stop moving.
I hate this.
The less that remains of your body, the more fiercely your spirit struggles against that of the princess. But her power
That is no
is
person.
immense. As your organs slip from between your ribs, she takes another step back. Only now, there is nowhere left for her to go. She's within your reach, if only you have the determination to reach her. Of course we have determination. We made it this far, didn't we?
What does this make us? How can we lose so much? The exact same way we lost every piece of ourselves twice before.
Come on. One more step. Do it. Hit me! Show me what you're made of!
Your skeletal hand shoots towards her heart, but the closer it gets, the more brittle it becomes. Flakes of bone are peeled away, exposing the marrow, and the marrow melts, exposing nerves, and the nerves are stripped roaring. Until what? I think he gave up on us.
Figures. He always seemed weak to me.
In the end, you're nothing. Just like what's left of me.
But we're still here, aren't we?
Which means we aren't finished.
What are we supposed to do? Hit her with nothing? Yes.
Huh. I felt that.
We actually did it.
Oh no.
Actually won.
I always knew we had it in us. But what are we going to do with ourselves now?
It's cold.
Oh.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? But it feels so bad. Like, look, yeah, don't look at it. I don't like that thing.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
Okay.
Maybe there'll be a good fight there. Maybe we'll find her again.
You're not messing with us, right?
What does it look like now? You've decayed. Ugh.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me? It will, in time, but you still have a ways to go before we are done. Know that I hold no malice for you. And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it. As easily as you can stand to be you, you are like me. Even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit, even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul. This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you, yet it is she who unwound herself. There is passion and empathy buried under her unfeeling skin. She will make for a weathered heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
That I agree with.
We will know when we near our destination. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
You're on a path. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely the blade is The door to the basement creaks open. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done. You walk down the stairs and lock up. You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a... No. You're doing... You walk up to their large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key? Okay. I'll be here.
Is someone else... Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam.
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Fine. The wound drives her to the ground.
I feel bad.
Okay. There's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard! Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your blade cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got. Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
You know what?
Are you serious? As what's left of your blood pools around you on the cobblestone floor, the blade falls from your trembling hands and clatters uselessly against the ground. I suppose you simply lacked the will to finish the job. The princess, wounded but still alive, nervously jumps at the blade and kicks it far away from you before retreating into a dark corner of the room. Her shining eyes watch you from the darkness, unblinking and curious as you bleed out. We can only hope the wounds you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, they'll kill her before she can reach the outside world.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
This is the end, isn't it? Before you can answer, everything goes dark, and you die.
The beast. Oh no, I got a bad feeling about this.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here.
Okay, proceed to the cabin.
A warning. She will lie. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature?
Hunted.
I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered.
She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell.
That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously.
Maybe. The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
Oh boy.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness.
One's just turned into a freaking animal and wants to kill me.
The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess.
Sure.
She's certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in trembling hands won't save you from me.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now. You lunge to the side, picking a direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her. Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows. But you still feel her gaze on you.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek, reactive, prey.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs.
So she's cut off our escape. Shit. What do we do?
You cannot reason your way out of this, fledgling. There's no compromise with what I am.
At least she's upfront about her intentions.
Yeah, worth a try.
She's right there. We have to wait for an opening.
That's fair. She'll kill us if we try and run past her.
I want to swallow you whole, and I will get what I want. You have no exit. You have no hope. You live and die by my whims, and my whims alone.
Don't ask her what she wants, just slay her.
Is that all the advice you have? We don't even know what she looks like. Some specifics would be very helpful.
She's just a princess. Don't overthink it.
She is clearly not.
She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else.
We're on the back foot.
The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive.
It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive, if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something.
This isn't going to work. We're in her domain. We just have to stay alive.
If we keep dodging her forever, we're going to get tired. We're going to slip up. We have to take a risk. As the princess lunges from the shadows once more, you tighten your grip on the blade and lash out. It strikes, cutting deep, and the princess loses her focus, crying out in pained surprise as she crashes into you. You're sent sprawling, and can already feel the massive bruise blossoming on your ribs as she scrambles back into the darkness. Ha! Look at that! We wounded her, and she wounded us. Bad trade.
That hurt. Are you just the cornered animal you seem to be? Or could you be a rival?
She rears back, then leaps at you, more forceful, more ferocious, more serious. The scuffle is brief, and though you inflict a few deep wounds, you find yourself quickly overwhelmed by her savagery. You collapse to the floor, and she wastes no time before pouncing on you in a flurry of claws and blood, your nerves barely able to keep up with the onslaught. By the end, you're lying in a nest of your own intestines, spine severed, blood rapidly draining out onto the jungle floor. The princess, drenched in both her blood and yours, idly prods your body.
No, that's it then. Cornered animal it was. Do better next time. I still need to devour you. And it doesn't count if you're dead.
We're not dead, But you don't have time to protest her premature observation of your death, because everything goes dark, and you die.
The den. Oh boy.
You're on a path in the woods.
Yeah, we are. And this time we're not gonna run until we die. We're taking her head on and we're winning.
You felt her. She didn't have a soft underbelly. She didn't have blind spots. What could we have done that would have saved us from her hunger?
When someone tries to make you dead, you have to hit them back. You have to show them your authority. There's nothing worse than a bully that thinks they own you.
Great. So you've been here before. That doesn't bode well. You're not supposed to have been here before. This is supposed to be one and done.
Oh, shut up. It bodes fine. You're the reason we're stuck in this shit situation. Now I have to do the hard work of dragging us out.
Okay, I'm really liking Stubborn.
And how do you intend to do that?
We're going to fight her, and we're going to win. There's a reason she slinks around in the shadows.
Well, no complaints here. Now hold on. We're not just gonna let the fact that he knows things about this whole Lupin situation go, are we?
He's not important. He can have his secrets for all I care. She's killed us twice now, and that's enough of a reason for us to want her dead. Like I said, we're going to fight her.
But we're so small.
We don't actually know how big she is. We just know she wants us to think she's big. And if she's going to treat us like prey again, then she is sorely underestimating us. One good wallop, that's all we need to put her on the defensive.
You make your way down to the cabin. Your fated confrontation awaits. You know what to do.
We've already been over the plan.
I'm not sure that use violence counts as a plan.
It's a better plan than you had last time.
I don't like this, but I'll try to keep us breathing. The interior is dark and overgrown. Vines and brush obscure so much of the place that, had you not seen the exterior, you might not have noticed this was a cabin at all. The only furniture of note, if you could call it that, is a knotted stump, a pristine blade embedded in its exposed rings. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right.
Take it. We're not fighting a monster without a blade. Even if it's not a very big one.
Is no one going to mention the mirror? What are you talking about? There is no mirror. There's just the stump and a narrow tunnel that leads to the basement. He isn't tricking us. Can you feel the wind? It's telling us there's a hole in that wall. Our eyes deceive us.
If that mirror's blocking our way, just smash it and be done with it.
Yes, take the steel claw. You pull the blade from the stump, gripping it tight. Good. You step forward, approaching the small hole that leads to the basement, hesitating before you enter the princess's lair.
You heard him. Stop hesitating.
That mirror isn't part of this place. It's seeped through from somewhere else. It, if there even is an it, is a hallucination. It's so grimy.
You bring your fist crashing down into the open hole leading to the basement, throwing yourself off balance and tumbling headlong into the pitch black.
If there were once stairs leading into the basement, there is nothing left to attest to their existence now. There is only a long tunnel of packed earth, growing more narrow as you descend. It smells of mold and decay. The damp walls leave streaks of dirt along your body as you're forced to hunch, then finally squat down on all fours in order to continue. As you crawl forward on hands and knees, you're met only with the sounds of ambient earth. No voice slinks confidently up the stairs. No entity threatens violence or pleads for safety. Stay quiet. Don't give her a sound. The princess leaves your remark unanswered. See, she knows we have to be like her. Focused, present, patient.
We're past the point of words anyway. This is a conversation that can...
You put the voices to the back of your mind and proceed down the... The basement is dark and cavernous, a gaping maw threatening to swallow you whole. There is no light here, save for what little starlight has managed to filter down the tunnel.
It doesn't matter if we can't see down here. We know where she is.
She doesn't respond. It seems that she thinks you do, in fact, have to do this. You step into the shadows and are enveloped in total darkness.
And what? You're going to turn around the second she runs for us?
There, she's about to strike. With the near silence of a determined predator, the princess erupts from the shadows. But you've already started your swift escape.
Stop it! Fight her!
The conflict in your heart, though usually of little consequence, slows you down just enough. You don't make it into the tunnel before you feel her hot breath at death. Again. She's gone.
Where does she go?
And is that a... This is that thing.
Screw the mirror. We just need to...
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it. It doesn't matter if there are. We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something, but nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist. This one is consumed by instinct, a dancer moving to the rhythm of the flesh. She will make for a ravenous heart. She wishes me to devour you, to make you a part of myself, but she is only a voice. If I did, I would already be awake. No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
Interesting.
If he is anything other than us, he isn't worth the effort to destroy. 1. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude. You've already tried waiting, but I understand if you need more time. I'll wait with you. I will see you when you return. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage? You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine. I see you have returned to me. Days mean nothing in the maw of forever. I never left your side.
Okay, that's funny. That's funny. For those wondering, I did not press the menu. It just sent me to that immediately.
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn. The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
You're on a path in... We're not gonna... The blade is your... Her voice soft. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs.
Thank you.
You're making a huge... You make your way to the bottom. Easier for everyone. Look at the...
I heard the door.
There's a slight...
If I could just...
She rips her flesh, or you won't... Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade again... No. As the prince... Wait, watch me.
Well?
Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end. You bring the blade down to strike at the princess's heart. But she's fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that she's free.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time? I don't know what's come over you, but if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that?
She pounces on you with the same animal for... It's not enough to stop her. You collapse to the floor. If we're lucky, the wood can't just... As much as I'd prefer for... Everything goes dark.
I wonder, is this...
And you...
Okay, wow, I skipped a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, this is a whole new chapter. I thought I'd go back to the beast.
You're on a path in the woods. And you're here to... A warning. She will... Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room.
The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. No blade. Hope you know what you're getting us into. It'll always be here if we need it. Sure, that was also true last time and we still died, but we definitely know what we're doing. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw, waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
What's she gonna look like this time?
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below.
Okay, not as much as I wished I thought.
You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, once again seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back. Fine, I'll play along for now. What do you want?
She's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. Do you remember us then? Do you remember last time? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Ooh, smart. Let's apologize, get us back on the right foot.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster.
Fair enough.
If you're sorry, then let me out of here. Prove it. Oh, of course. They're nothing to me.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist.
Okay.
She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little...
A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest.
This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
I suppose you didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could team up. I need a way out after all, and unfortunately you're the only one I have.
Seems to me like she's offering a mutually beneficial arrangement. We should take it.
Do you know what the word mutually means? Because it sounds to me like she's offering an arrangement that benefits her and her alone.
Well, we don't die, so that's pretty good.
Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face. She never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves face to face. She's silent for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do now that she's within arm's reach.
After you, darling. You're the one that lets come and go. It's best if I follow.
Oh no, we can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back on us.
It shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. We're working together here.
Well, if it doesn't matter, then she can go first. We may be in this together, but that doesn't mean we have to trust her.
Somebody has to go first, and it might as well be us. We're the ones who broke her trust last time. You're talking a lot about trusting someone who, by her very definition, cannot be trusted.
That's right, you're the one who's going first. Don't worry, I'll be right behind you watching every single thing you do.
That's exactly what I'm worried about.
You step onto the stairs and begin your ascent from the basement. The princess follows close on your heels, perhaps even a little closer than you'd like. You're only saying that because you want us to feel nervous. I do want those things, but I want them for a good reason. I don't need you to trust me for my sake, because I already know that I'm right. This is for you.
Can we walk backwards up the stairs?
I think that's the smarter idea.
She can't sneak in and attack if we're facing her.
No. The stairs are a bunch of overgrown roots. You'll trip and hurt yourself.
But...
The princess is silent as you both continue the climb, and, in no time at all, the upstairs of the cabin is within reach. Isn't that a relief? We're fine. Nothing happened. You're not even going to wait until you're through that door to proudly claim your victory, are you?
Fair enough.
Why did you just say that? I think we know why. You feel something dig into your shoulder, sharp and piercing. The princess clawing at you and pulling you down with her full weight. Together you tumble back down the uneven stairs, your body and hers crashing against the unyielding wooden roots, until finally you both separate with a bone-shaking thud against the basement floor. You feel something pop. The princess lands against the far wall, gasping as she struggles to recover from the impact. You're still in shock, trying to get a hold of yourself. She grins as you continue to remain exactly where you are, cackling derisively as she watches you realize that you won't be getting up. Wait, why won't we be getting up? I'm afraid your back is broken. One unlucky fall is all it takes, really, and you had several.
You know what? I'll say it. That sucks. I don't like having a broken back.
Really?
We were going to help her. Why? Why did she do that? It's what I would have done. Have you considered not being like that? Of course not. It's what keeps us alive. And yet here we are, paralysed and stuck with someone who hates us in the basement of a remote cabin.
You must have known this was coming. The arrogance of turning your back to me after everything you've done. Why would I ever trust you? Your hands have spilled my blood. And knowing that, you should never have trusted me either. You should have known I would never walk hand in hand with a loathsome thing like you. By our very natures, only one of us could make it upstairs unscathed. Someone had to make the first move. Better me than you.
See, this is why I wanted her to go first. I had this whole little scheme planned, where once she'd passed by the table upstairs, I'd have said, now, and then you'd say something like, wow, and then you would have done it and we wouldn't be... It's just one problem. And what's that? She was clearly planning to betray us. Ugh, you're right, aren't you? I thought this whole thing was ironclad, but the princess's body twitches as she tries to get up.
Uh-oh.
Ho ho ho! So she's got it as bad as us.
Something inside me is broken. Isn't that a cruel twist of the knife? Isn't that so funny?
She eyes you with intensity, silence falling between you for a long moment as her gaze travels up and down your battered form.
Seems I'm not the only one, though.
Wait, are we both just stuck here? Certainly seems that way. What a way to go. But look on the bright side. In all this chaos, you may have actually managed...
We're going to die together. Isn't that a lovely treat? I wonder how long it'll take.
Is that really what's going to happen now? Hello? I think he's gone.
Something strange is twisting this place out of shape. I wasn't feeling much of anything, but now I feel... cold.
And that's the fifth.
She's gone. And is that a... This... If he thinks...
Oh?
I think you know what I am.
Oh? So he really is just a crow? Uh-oh.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far. You were either going to have seen all this, or you weren't going to have seen all this. This is worse, but you still have an opportunity to save the world. You can still slay her. Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me. She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. Like I said, this isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
Yes, you will, but it will all be worth it. Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. When I broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave. Light, burdenless, an eternal pattern of forgetfulness leading into the joys of rediscovery. Everyone will be with the ones they love. No more fear, no more howling chaos. Just life, forever. There's a cruel irony to it all. The only way I could share my dream with the world was to never be able to see it for myself. Are you asking me to spend my final moments psychoanalyzing you? She wound up a princess because you wanted her to be a princess. As to why, maybe she needed to be beautiful, important, above you, but on a level you could still approach. A herald of things to come. I don't know. Gods are supposed to be beyond comprehension. I really shouldn't try and anthropomorphize you like this. You haven't. You've flirted with dying. You've played pretend. But your consciousness is an unbroken stream.
My final question. Oh, never mind.
Well, there's no reasoning with a god. Even one you've woven into existence yourself. I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind. Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation? Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you.
Oh boy.
I love you.
Wow.
It's magnificent. Everything, just like it always has been, and just like it always will be.
Well, got an ending. Thank you all those people who allowed me to, you know, Markiplier. It's Dracula. Swimming. Oh, okay, there's a lot of different endings. Maybe are these just the pictures of? 2 hours in. I think this is where I'm gonna end it. It's nearly midnight, so